So somehow, although I don't subscribe to the view, but many surgeons believe that whoever chops is a more daring surgeon, although I totally disagree with that viewpoint, although this is my preferred technique. Good evening everyone, and thank you Saurav for having me as a part of this course. So I have no financial interest in any of the products or techniques mentioned. So nucleus disassembly or nuclear fractus, essentially we've seen there's cracking, divide and conquer covered by Dr. Naushad Shroff, and chopping, which can be of two types, stop and chop, which is actually a mixed technique, and a direct chop, which is what I'll be covering today. It was first described by Nagahara in 1993, and since then many variations have evolved. And as a result, there have been too many names in the literature, which has caused significant confusion as regards nomenclature and the technique also. In fact, about 15-16 years ago, I remember many surgeons would be coming out with some modification of the technique, and they would give it a different name. So at that point, I found it very confusing. But now let's see if we can just reduce it and get back to the basics. Chopping essentially is of two types. It is a horizontal chop or a vertical chop. Horizontal chop is the classical Nagahara chop, wherein the instrument tips, that is the phaco tip and the chopper, they move towards each other in a horizontal plane, like this. They come in a horizontal plane. Vertical chop has various variants and names also, like the phaco quick chop or phaco snap and split. But the difference from the horizontal chop is that the two instruments move towards each other in the vertical plane. So basically the phaco tip has been embedded in, the chopper comes from top like this and they move up. So the movement is vertical. So that's why it's easy to remember, it's called vertical chop because the movement is vertical, the plane of movement, and in horizontal chop, the plane of movement is horizontal. I'll cover this in a little greater detail and it will become clearer. So just to look at it, here we have a traditional the horizontal chop, where there is a chopper which is going right down to the periphery of the nucleus, and the phaco tip has been embedded here. In the side view, you will see that this is where the phaco tip, the chopper tip is entering. And in the phaco vertical chop, also known as the quick chop, the phaco tip enters closer towards the center. It does not go beyond the rhexis, and there in the side view, this is how it will appear. So let's see, what is the basis of all chopping techniques? They utilize manual instrument forces to divide the nucleus. Ultrasound power thereby is required to sculpt, which is required to sculpt is reduced, and this is possible because of the lamella. The chopping is possible because of the lamellar orientation of the lens fibers, which provide natural fracture planes. So what are the advantages of phaco chop? Because of less energy used, because of we are doing a manual technique here, we are not sculpting, less ultrasound energy is used. There is less stress on the zonules, because if the zonules are weak and the phaco probe is moving forward, it will cause stress on the zonules. And when you are chopping, all forces are directed inwards and away from the zonules. The phaco tip always remains in the central 3 to 4 millimeter of the pupil, and therefore that is the safe zone. As we all know, is the safest zone to work in. And it is a relatively safer technique in complicated, difficult cases like small pupil phaco, zonular weakness or dehiscence, mature cataracts, hypermature Morgagnian cataract, and as we discussed earlier, there is no other technique which would possibly hold the nucleus in Morgagnian cataract, and suboptimal capsular rhexis or hydrodissection. So let's look at the horizontal chop. There is a central debulking of the epinucleus. This is a constant feature. Whenever you do a chop, a central debulking is done of the epinucleus, and then a blunt chopper is advanced under the capsule to the distal equator of the nucleus, that is the end distal away from you, and phaco tip is embedded proximal to the center of the nucleus. In any chopping, you have to have a good purchase of the nucleus. The phaco tip should be at least around half the depth of the nucleus. Chopper is advanced towards the phaco tip and the chop is initiated. As the two tips come closer, this is how you're going. As the two tips come closer, there's a lateral movement. You give a lateral movement, so the vector force changes, a lateral movement which causes a separation. And the two halves are separated. Then once the two halves have been separated, the nucleus is rotated and each half is then further chopped into smaller pieces. In contrast, in the vertical chop, the first part remains the same, the central debulking of the epinucleus. Phaco tip is embedded at the center or distal to the center of the nucleus. So here basically you're going deeper because I'll just tell you why. And the sharp chopper is buried downwards into the nucleus. It's coming from top, the tip is embedded there, and like a spike, just anterior to the phaco tip. Because it's going to, here you have the forces acting toward, you're compressing in horizontal chop, you're compressing the nucleus within the two instruments like a sandwich, and you're cutting through. Here you're not doing that, just pushing it in and lifting the embedded phaco tip a little and trying to split it. So therefore there has to be a deeper penetration of the phaco tip, and it has to go right to the center of the nucleus or even a little below that, a little distal to that. And then the chopper comes from top. The chopper is advanced towards the phaco tip and the chop is initiated, and again here also, as the two tips are coming together, a lateral movement is initiated and the two halves are separated, and again the individual halves are then further chopped into small pieces. So if one wants to convert to phaco chop, what do we do? Because phaco chop is a little more technically demanding. So one should graduate from divide and conquer and or stop and chop, whatever they are doing. They should get familiar with chopping. How do you do that? Get familiar with choppers and chopping. There are various choppers, and that's again a very confusing thing. We won't go into that here. And also the concept of chopping. So if you're doing divide and conquer, the 4 quadrants that you have, one would generally, if you have a good phaco machine, you generally emulsify the 4 quadrants. But instead of doing that, you try and hold each quadrant and try and chop it. So basically you have to learn to use the left hand to chop. And then if you are doing a divide, stop and chop again, the second half you should again try and chop it also. So people believe that horizontal chop is a little easier and should be started with, followed by vertical chop. Although I feel that they're equally, in fact, I prefer the vertical chop because I personally feel that horizontal chop is a little riskier when you're going towards the periphery under the capsule. You're going under the capsule towards the periphery of the nucleus. It can pose certain challenges. So let's compare horizontal and vertical chop. They both work on different principles but offer the same advantage. That is less ultrasound energy, less stress on zonules, and the phaco tip remains the center in the safe zone. In terms of degree of difficulty, both have a steeper learning curve than stop and chop or divide and conquer, but learning one will eventually help in learning the other. They both have some risks, especially during the learning phase. In the horizontal chop, the risk is of the chopper damaging the anterior capsule or the zone, because you're going under the capsule, and if you don't judge properly, if the view is not very clear, you may go over the capsule, damage the capsule, go right up to the zonules and damage the zonules. In vertical chop, especially when you're beginning, although we don't really face it once you have some experience, the risk of posterior capsule rupture is there if very excessive pressure is applied downwards in the downward movement by the chopper. So the indications for horizontal chopping, if you compare both horizontal and vertical chopping, softer and smaller nuclei, extremely deep anterior chamber like high myopes, post-vitrectomy eyes, or even deep-seated eyes, because in those cases the chopper, if you're doing a vertical chop, you have to go deep. So as it is that eye is deep, the lens is deeper in the plane, it's difficult. So therefore the horizontal chop may be a little more easier in such situations. And in small pupil, the vertical chop also works very well. In vertical chopping, the indications are difficulty visualizing the capsulex's edge, like in a corneal haze, a scar, or anterior cortical spokes, brunescent nuclei and leathery nuclei, where there is little or no epinucleus, because if you don't have epinucleus and you're trying to do a horizontal chop by going to the periphery of the nucleus under the capsule, you might damage the capsule, and in small pupils. Unfortunately, my video film that I had created is not working. So I have the raw footage which I would like to show you if we have time. I think we have 3-4 minutes. So it will be a bit of an effort, and I know it's going to be painful, but just bear with me. I'll try to demonstrate what I've been talking about. So you see here that central debulking is done.
What is the tip you're using?
So these are videos that I've collected which are very old. This is a Protige, I think. No, this is a Millennium. It's a 30 degree tip. Yeah, it's a 30 degree tip, which would be a preferred tip in these cases.
And what is the chopper you're using? What is the length of the chopper?
So this is an Agarwal chopper, the Epsilon Agarwal chopper.
And what is the?
It's about a little over 1 millimeter, I think.
The sharp chopper.
It's a sharp chopper, but it's not very long. In fact, off late, these are old videos. I wanted actually to show how my learning curve, and you will see certain mistakes that I made. That was the idea of collecting these videos. But now I use a sharper chopper, which is like a spike. It's about 1.5 millimeter, and it chops in much. You'll see a bit of a struggle in some of the videos here, and it chops much better. These are, I think, videos of 2002 or 2003.
So the standard now is 1.5?
1.5 is the standard, yeah. This one is a little shorter than that. the Epsilon Agarwal chopper.
And the ideal tip would be a higher degree tip or a lesser degree tip for a paper chopper.
Ideally, this is a 90-degree tip. I would prefer a
15 degree, 30 degree.
No, the Phaco tip or the chopper tip? Angle. Okay. The Phaco tip, if you're doing a direct chop, you want more purchase, you want more hold, you don't want sculpting there. So a higher degree would be better.
So if you have a...
But 30 is a good balance
So
actually.
if you have a 15 degree tip, it would be even better.
15? No.
From
15 degree would be better. Yeah, it would be better, but
disadvantage would be
less sculpting, less cutting power. So therefore 30 is a good balance between all these.
So in fact, at one time when they were getting to more fatter angles, they even came up to 0 degree. So
0 degree, but that didn't work. That didn't work too well.
It didn't work too well, so they got back again, and the best standard was 30.
So this is another video showing the same similar situation. Here again, the central debulking is done. It's always better to do this because it will give you a fair idea of what you're dealing with.
Is it important to do the central debulking?
I think it's important even in stop and chop.
What advantage is it giving you?
It gives you less, it clears up this working area, and you see the chop has been initiated.
You're removing that soft...
The chop has just...
soft cuttings.
No. Central debulking.
Debulking.
Central debulking. That's the area which will go anywhere when you're chopping or you're doing anything with the Phaco. So this was the vertical. I have one of the horizontal ones also, but vertical is my preferred. Horizontal have to go to the right under the capsule, you have to go to the periphery. And vertical, and this is actually what you're seeing here. The tip is also tip is fine, but the Phaco chopper is not the ideal chopper. It is reasonably sharp, but it's shorter in length. A little longer chopper would work even better.
Is anybody using a vertical chop now in the audience or anybody? Because I think everybody has more or less shifted to horizontal chops.
No. I don't agree with that.
Sorry, vertical chops.
People have gone to vertical.
Shifted to vertical chops. Is anybody using a horizontal chop? Horizontal chop?
I'm using both.
Yeah, actually, I would agree. Sometimes you need to use both of the. In fact, in one of the videos, you might see a combination of both. So this is another video. This is just to give you some idea and some mistakes that I made. Now you'll see probably in this video where the depth is not adequate. The Phaco tip is not penetrating.